f subscript n is equal to 2 to the power n, right? uh, Fn is the nth Fermat number, and find GCD of f underscore n, Fn comma Fm. But it means you have to be choose like this. This is Fn, which is equal to 2 to the power n plus 1. Then you have to find GCD of Fn comma Fm equal to how much? How you are going to be try to solve this problem. And another problem is going to be so I have track all the information who are going to be draw over on the whiteboard. Don't do any nonsense on the board. And the second question is going to be so if you are going to do this kind of activities now, so these two problems you try to solve, and most probably in your examination you will find these kind of problems only. Right? So today we are going to be talk about Chinese remainder theorem. It's a very interesting problem for you. So here I am writing CRT algorithm. We are going to be studying. Then in the CRT, the first assumption going to be you have to choose any numbers like this. Okay, if suppose A is congruent to A is congruent to suppose what I will do, I can erase this one. I can write this one. So what I want to do, you have to choose any numbers like this. This is going to be A1, which is congruent to some x1 of mod some mi, some m1. The same way a2, which is congruent to x2 of mod and so on, some ak, which is congruent to some xk of mod k of mod mk. Here all these, that means whatever you may choose, GCD of any two pair, you may choose GCD of some mi comma mj, mi comma mj, which is equal to 1. Why we written this statement? You try to understand any two mod values you may choose. That means m1 comma m2, m2 comma m3, m1 comma m3, and so on. Any two numbers you may choose, the GCD of those two numbers are going to be equal to 1. Then we call this all or as a relatively pairwise relatively prime numbers. Pairwise relatively prime numbers. Pairwise relatively prime numbers. Okay. So now, if in that case we are able to find, sorry here, this is going to be literally, I'm sorry, this is going to be some unknown number actually. All these are equal numbers, not even. Okay. So this is an unknown number. But all these relatively prime numbers, suppose okay, these are all pairwise relatively prime numbers. The corresponding value, that means whatever the modular values are there, if anything is given to you like this, you are able to find this unknown value. So this is a wonderful real-time application for computer science and engineering. All operations, most of the operations in computer, we are going to perform with help of modular or arithmetic operation only. Why? Because we will work based on the finite field only rather than the infinite values. That's why our computer operations are always finite. Computer operation are always finite, and the most of the computations we are going to perform with help of the computer are based on the modular arithmetic only. That you remember. That's why this Chinese remainder theorem is one of the beautiful algorithm for us to understand. So there in the last class I told you there are 3 steps are there. In the step 1, I already told you step 1, what we will do? You have to compute capital M. How we will compute a capital M? Capital M we will compute with help of the small m1 into small m2 into and so on into small mk. So why? Because we have okay, k values here. We have k values here. Then the second one, okay, in the first okay, step only, we have to be okay, find m1, m2, m3, and so on values. This is okay, capital M1. How we will find capital M1? Product of from I equal to 1 to k mi divided by small mi. So likewise, you need to be calculate for each and every mi value. So that it means, if suppose here I can say I want to write m1, so m1 is equal to my small m1 into small m2 into and so on small mk divided by m1. These two we are going to be cancelled. What will be remaining? The remaining values are going to be m2 multiply and so on multiply mk. This value is going to be equal to m1. The same way you have to find all the other m values. So likewise you need to find the all values. In the second step, what you need to do, you have to find yi value. You have to find yi value. How we will find yi value? The corresponding mi inverse of mod small mi. Small mi. This is a small mi, this is a capital Mi. Right, capital Mi where we are finding? Here we are finding. Here we are finding this value. That multiplicative inverse value with respect to this one, we need to be find. So likewise, you need to find y1, y2 and so on, yk values. y1, y2 and so on. So here I equal to 1 to k. All the values you need to be find. And the final step, that is the third step, is going to be, you need to be find a, which is equal to, you have to find a, which is equal to summation of I equal to 1 to k by I, your capital Mi and your xi, your yi, capital Mi and your small mi. Sorry. This is xi. This is going to be your xi. This is your xi of mod your capital M. This is the formula, very simple formula. First you try to find capital Mi value. So I'm writing capital Mi. Suppose I'm writing capital M I with the help of this color, and my yi value is going to be, I'm using suppose this color, and here my x value is going to be this particular color. Suppose you may use these three colors. The final a value, how we will find? The final a value, how we will find? Just to multiply all this. Just to multiply all this. That means your yi value multiply with mi value multiply with xi value. Likewise, okay, whatever the values will come, all you add it, you sum up, then finally you apply the mod m value, so that okay, you will get back your resultant value. This is okay called okay Chinese remainder theorem. This is called Chinese remainder theorem. Just we will choose a small example over here to solve the problem based on this particular algorithm only. Based on this particular algorithm only. Suppose I am providing here, suppose your x is equal to, x is congruent to 3 mod 11. 3 mod 11. And again, x is equal to 5 mod 13. 5 mod 13. 5 mod 13. So how you are going to be solve this problem? For example, let's suppose, okay, we can choose these two, okay, values, and we need to be find this unknown x value with the help of this particular information. So that here the step 1 is there. Step 1 I want to calculate my capital M value. That is going to be how much? 11 into 13. 11 into 13. How much? 143. Then after what we need to be find? We need to be find capital M1. Capital M1 is equal to 11 into 13 divided by 11. These 11 going to be cancelled. Then the answer is going to be 13. And your M2 is equal to, the same way you need to be find 11 into 13 divided by your M2 value. M2 value is 13, small M2 value. These 13 are going to cancel. The remaining is going to be 11 answer. So now what we need to be find? We have to find yi value. So the second step, we need to be find yi value. The first we need to be find y1 value. How we will find y1 value? We have to find what is the m1 value? This inverse of mod 11. Of mod 11. In that case, you will get 13 inverse of mod 11. So here what you supposed to be use? You have to use extended Euclidean algorithm. Extended Euclidean algorithm to find the multiplicative inverse value. How we will find multiplicative inverse value here? Very simple to find multiplicative inverse value. You choose, okay, here 13 and here 11. I told you this one, okay, earlier, the coefficient and your auxiliary value. Here 0 and here 1. This is 1 time. The remainder is 2, right? Then what is the a value here? -1. Right. Then here, okay, what is the remainder value you will get? These two, now these two you need to be considered to compute. Then the remainder value is going to be 1. How many times this is? 5 times. What is the corresponding value? You need to be understand 1. This one we need to be choose minus this value into this value we need to be multiply. So this is -1 into 5 -5. Already what you need to be supposed to write here? 1 minus of -1 into 5. So this is -5, minus into minus plus, so 1 plus 5. So what you will get here? +6 value will get. +6 value will get. So this is going to be +6 value. This is going to be +6 value. This is called multiplicative inverse value of 13 in 11. In 11. So the equivalent answer here I need to be supposed to be right. That is going to be 6. That is going to be 6. So this is over. Again, we need to be find what? y2 value. Just you try to find y2 value. Y2 value is equal to 11 inverse of mod 13. So this is equal to how much? Again, how we need to find? Again, you have to find, okay, actually we need to be right to 11, 13. But here, okay, whichever is going to be higher value, we'll choose that one only. The same process you repeat again for this. Then what is the resultant value you will get? 6 as the multiplicative inverse value. If suppose 13 is the multiplicative inverse value for 11, then 11 has a multiplicative inverse value of 6 in 13 also. That's why here we'll get 6 value again. What value we'll get? 6 value. So now what values we required? We required this value, and these two values, these two values. So all the values are with us. That's why we need to be perform third step in a very easy way. So your x is equal to what I supposed to be right? Here 3. Suppose I may choose, okay, here 6. Here this is 6. This is 13. And this is 3, first one. So this is 3. So 3 is our first, okay, x1 value. This is m1 value. This is y1 value. So I am multiplying all these plus. Next, what is there? 5. Or here 6. Multiply. Here 11. Multiply. Here 5. The total value what we need to do of mod 143. So here this is your capital M value. So this whole of mod M of mod 143. We will write it on this. The finally this is going to be equal to how much? So this is going to be 564 of mod 1 okay 43 39 into 6. Two, 3, 4. Right? The other one is going to be 330. Correct? Here 39 multiply with 6. 54, 5, 234. 234 plus here, okay, 30 into 11. 330. Total is going to be 564. 564 of mod 4, 3. Then which is equal to how much? What is the remainder value here we will get? Three times you may use. What value you will get? 420. Because 4 is not okay sufficient. That's 4 is not sufficient. That's why we will go for 3 times. So then the resultant value is going to be 135. So the unknown number is going to be 135. The unknown number is going to be 135. So can you solve one more problem? I will try to provide you based on this. Try to solve a problem based on this. You may find a simple value. I will try to provide you.
Sir,
Hello.
yes, sir. Sir, I'm Nitin. Sir, I have a question.
Tell me.
Sir, in Jamboard page 3, sir, when we are finding multiplicative inverse of 13 and 11,
Huh.
then for the value 2, we are getting coefficient of 1. So, how are we getting 1? Is there any other way to find 1? Can you please explain again, please?
No, no. Again, pardon. Your voice is not clear to me. You have 13.
Sir,
Just a wait.
sir, in the coefficient of 2, 13, 11, and 2, we are getting coefficient 1.
Here coefficient is going to be 1.
1. And auxiliary value is going to be -1. Sir, how are we getting coefficient of 1?
Here, no, this coefficient, okay, here. This is 11, you divide 13. How many times? This is going to be your coefficient, na?
Sir, 13 upon 11 will be the coefficient.
Whenever you have 13 upon, then here, okay, these two values we need to be choose, na? Then you have to find the coefficient. Suppose, okay, if you have, okay, 11, 13, 11, 13 is there. This is, na, you are asking.
Yes, sir, 11 and 13. And how, sir, I am
11 and
asking
13,
how
wait,
1.
11 and 13 is there. You will get coefficient value is going to be 0 here, and 11 is going to be remainder here. The same values are going to be repeated. Here you will get, okay, the same values. Okay, that's why whenever you have, okay, values, right, 13 into 0, 0, the remainder is going to be 11. Then 13, 11, this starts from now onwards. That's why I told you straightforwardly you need to be start from the, if suppose if any value, suppose I may provided, okay, 550 value in 1758, suppose I may 59, suppose I may provide like this is a fine, we can solve this one. If suppose ulta given to you, you find the mod operation, you apply the mod operation, find the multiplicative inverse value for that. Or simply you need to be reverse these two and find the multiplicative inverse value, right? You can
Yes,
do
sir.
both, no issue for that, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And a very simple problem you can solve, okay, for your understanding. Suppose, okay, 5 mod 10 x is congruent to. Three mod 11. Find the value of x here. Simply, all of you try to solve this one. This is a very easy problem, and I will give one more typical problem to you to solve. First, you try to solve this one. Then we will, okay, discuss about the little, look at tough problem, how to solve it. So I think all of you solved, I think, the problem. Any difficulty is there while you are solving? Or any doubts you have to, while you are solving, you will find any problem? So another problem I'm providing to you. Using CRT, find all solutions to the following system of linear congruence. Linear congruence. So the values are going to be x is congruent to 1 of mod 3, x is congruent to 2 of mod 4, x is congruent to 3 of mod 5. This is another problem. This is a problem 1, and this is going to be problem 2.
Sir,
Hello, tell me.
sir, I'm facing problem in understanding how are we calculating this multiplicative inverse. So can you
Why?
repeat it again? And
Why it's so like that? There is no difficulty to find a multiplicative inverse finding. Here, na? This one, na?
yes, sir.
That is the correct. You identified very good. Why? Because what I told you, these two are going to be relatively prime numbers. Correct?
Yes,
But
sir.
these two numbers, what is the GCD of these two numbers? Which is not equal to GCD of 10, 5, comma, is not equal to 1. Hence, there is no multiplicative inverse existed. This is the first step you need to be made, so that you cannot solve this problem. Cannot solve this problem. Why? Because here the multiplicative inverse value no, if this is okay, where is the problem here? I don't think so.
Yes, sir, exactly. Sir, when I was calculating
Here,
10
just wait.
multiplicative.
Okay, you need to be find M1 and you have M2.
Yes,
Right?
sir. So M1 is
M1 is
10,
going to be equal to
11,
11. M2 is equal to
10.
10. Right? You need to be
Yes, sir.
find Y1 value.
Yes,
If
sir.
you find Y1 value, how do you find 11 inverse of mod 10? There is no problem here in this problem.
Yes, sir. How are we calculating this 11
11, okay,
inverse?
that means if here 11, you need to be choose, and 10 you need to be choose. Right?
Yes, sir.
Then okay, one time, one is the reminder value. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
So if one is the reminder value, here 1 it comes, what is the value? -1 it comes here. Whenever here -1 comes, what I told you in the class, you have to use additive inverse value for that. You have to use additive inverse value. So what is the additive inverse value for -1 in 10? That is the value which that I told you in the starting of the class. While you are doing any multiplicative inverse value finding, sometimes you will get a negative values. The corresponding positive value you need to be choose with help of the additive. That means the corresponding additive inverse value you have to choose as your multiplicative inverse value. Clear? You have to solve the problem now.
Sir, actually, I think I missed out that class when you were.
Maybe, no problem. We can solve now. So you find the additive inverse value for that and okay, solve it. So this
Sir,
is the only
additive
typical
inverse
part
of
here. All of you
additive-
listen. Whenever negative value comes here, actually this is going to be treated our multiplicative inverse value. In the previous two problems also we did like that. But whenever you have a negative value here, then the corresponding additive inverse value you need to choose in that field. So that okay, that would be okay multiplicative inverse value for that one. Okay? You have to solve this problem also. And the second, okay, I have to take a few minutes to introduce to you RSA algorithms, and I don't conduct today exam because I prepared exam, but okay, I will conduct tomorrow. So RSA algorithm mainly consists of three major algorithms, every public key cryptography. So now I'm moving towards to public key cryptography. So in the public key cryptography, we have three algorithms. The first one is going to be the key generation algorithm. What we call this one? Key generation algorithm. First one is going to be key generation algorithm. Second one is going to be encryption algorithm. And third one is going to be the decryption algorithm. Very simple to remember also. These two we need. Here, RSA algorithm, what we need okay, first okay, beforehand, you have to keep two large prime numbers that are P and Q. The typical lengths right now we are choosing P and Q are almost okay similar. The length of the P and Q are going to be is equal to or more than greater than or equal to 1024 bits. Right now we are using in our all computations we are using this particular one. So you know we have okay P and Q, two numbers are there beforehand. There are okay 4 steps are there in this, the step one, sub steps. The A step is going to be, you need to be compute small n is equal to PQ. Simple step. You have two prime numbers, use those two prime numbers, multiply those two, then you will get n. Then step B, what you need to do? Compute again pi of n value. How you are going to compute? You know how to find okay pi of n value, we know. So how we will okay find okay, we need to be write pi of p, pi of pq. Pi of pq. Pi of pq is equal to pi of p into pi of q. So pi of p is equal to p minus 1 and pi of q is equal to q minus 1. That's why you need to be write these two. Right? And the third step you need to be, this is a trivial one, just you need to be choose any E value. This is going to be your public key. This is going to be your public key. How you are going to be choose this E? There is a formula you need to be use GCD of E comma pi of n. You have to satisfy this formula which is going to be equal to 1. That means this E and pi of n both are going to be relatively prime numbers, You can okay, choose like that this E value. Right? Then the step D in this are going to be, again you need to be compute or what we can say, or find D value. How you will find a D value? Just simple, E into D, which is congruent to 1 of mod pi of n. Mod pi of n. So these are the 3 steps. And declare your key. Public key as, that means I'm writing here, public key as your n and E. And secret key as, you have a secret key, that secret key is going to be your D, P and Q. So now what we need to be perform? We need to be perform encryption operation. This is encryption operation. In the encryption, you choose any M which is belongs to Zn, which is belongs to Zn, Then you have to compute the C, that means your ciphertext. Ciphertext is congruent to M to the power E of your mod n. Your mod n. And next we need to be perform decryption operation. The decryption is going to be like this. This is your decryption operation. In the decryption operation, you need to be return back this M, which is going to be equal to or congruent to C to the power D of mod n. C to the power D mod n. So here, in the tomorrow class, again we will learn this particular algorithm and we try to solve some problems on this. So you need to be understand few things only here. There is the RSA algorithm. RSA algorithm has just 3 sub-algorithms. One is a key generation algorithm, other one is going to be encryption algorithm, other one is going to be decryption algorithm. So in the encryption, the key generation algorithm, we have 4 steps. You need to remember that. Compute n equal to PQ, compute pi of n, that is going to be equal to P minus 1 into Q minus 1. Then we have to choose E. Then compute GCD. That means we need to be choose like this. Okay, E comma pi of n is going to be equal to 1. Finally, you need to be find a D value. That is going to be your secret key. This is going to be your public key and this is going to be secret key. That's why you need to be declare this is my public key and this is my secret key. So you need to be publish your public key only. Don't publish your secret key. Keep secret with you. Only you need to publicize your public key and keep secret your secret key. And perform your encryption operation, decryption operation like this. So tomorrow we will discuss on the same topic. Any questions you have right now? Please, if you have a questions, please, type in the chat box. Oh, so many questions. Yeah, GCD of 2 formats numbers are going to be equal to 1. You know Fibonacci series also there. You find Fibonacci series also, so that you will find the same, right? How did you get 51 in that equation? Which equation? 51? Abhishek? So you have some questions now. Tomorrow you may ask some questions. We will discuss on that, right? So tomorrow is a very interesting topic. Tomorrow onwards, please be attentive. And tomorrow, what I'm thinking now, I will conduct a small examination for you. Small examination. I will give some problems to you. You solve and upload your PDF on that question paper. That is sufficient for me, right? Any further questions you have? Otherwise, you say no, though I can, Thank you. Next class we'll meet and we'll discuss more on that topics.